Hello and welcome to Samson 5. I'm your host, Rabbi David Katz. When we last left our superheroes, we were talking about the scarlet thread of Tamar in relation to tying it to her firstborn child of the children that were born Zerach and Peretz. The Yevon Levirate reincarnation of the two sons of Judah that died, Tamar being the daughter of Shem, thereby we can assume she's employing Torah of Shem, type 1. And we saw that same type of scarlet thread in some capacity with Rahab. We want to know, really, why was Rahab, how did she know to dangle a scarlet thread? And Rahab, we know, is very Mazeldik related to Hasselpony. And we know that Hasselpony is a Ger woman, type 1. We know that Rahab is a Ger woman, type 1. We know that Tamar, maybe beyond Ger women, she's like a special category because she's not one of the 22 women of valor. She's the daughter of Shem. That is something special. So we want to know this special type of female, a very special type of female, type 1 for that. Very special female, right? I mean, we're uncovering. We started the class of Samson trying to find Samson's mazel, says Eric, type 1. You realize how type 1 is kind of becoming like an amen. The virtual version of amen, type 1. So we got into Hasselpony, and we've dug up a lot of stuff. And I would say once we crack this little riddle, and we go back to Hasselpony and the prophecy and the Cohen and the angel, it's gonna the ground will be properly fertile, right, or fertilized and ready for harvest, planting, whatever mushroom you want to put in there. So we're almost there. She's very special. There's probably like 10 guys on the planet that know that she's special. And Rahab is special. We know that from Ger work. But it's all going to go back to Tamar. And we want to know, all we really know about Tamar is that red thread. I mean, the other stuff, I wouldn't call that overtly special, that you turn your head and say, wow, what was that? But I think everybody who has half of an inclination to be intellectually curious and honest will ask themselves, what's going on with that red scarlet thread? And we see it with Rahab. And that'll let us in on what Rahab's doing. And then I think we have built the proper vessel to go back and understand Hasselpony. Because I think what we have discovered is Hasselpony is not a simpleton. I think anyone that reads Samson, I think we know this by now what I'm about to say. Think about it. Manoach was an idiot and a lowlife, right? Type 1. No one is thinking twice about Manoach. But when you get into the Iker, that one guy, and you realize Manoach is a pretty special guy. I mean, how many people in the world are talking about the greatness of Manoach? Nobody. Nobody. Except for the Torah itself. You know, I was eating dinner tonight, and I realized, you know what Ger is? The concept of Ger, learning? It's a group of people who just really want to know. And there's some people in the world who just really don't want to know. And the Chiddush is that there is a Masorah of Torah, a continuum, a fraternity, an academy of Torah. And it is embedded in our universe, on our planet. You cannot eradicate the planet, or the Torah, sorry. Probably you can't eradicate the planet also, because there's Torah on the planet. There's no such thing as life without Torah. Adam was born into a world of Torah. Exile is when we convince ourselves that the Torah, here's one for you, Eric Bryan, has nothing of its own. The Torah is lost in exile. We don't learn the Sifri. We don't learn this and that. And the consciousness is in exile. That's what exile is. It's a problem, a diminutive, or how do you call it? Like what's that? I can't think of the word. So the D. What's that word? What's that word? Diminished. Yeah. It's a diminished consciousness. And it's not logical. It's not something you can say, hey, buddy, snap out of it. There are two kinds of people in this world. People that know the Sifri and people that don't. You understand that? I mean, and every wisdom has that dichotomy. There's two kinds of wrestlers. Wrestlers who know how to do a single leg takedown and those that don't. You got that? There's two kinds of everything. Think about what you do. Type 1 when you've realized whatever it is you do. And there's two kinds of people like you, right? There's people that do it and people that don't do it. And that really is what makes either success or non-success. And if you're one of those people that does it, that's where you are successful. That's where your wisdom is. I was the guy who did not know what a single leg takedown was. I am not a real wrestler. Had I known and cared to look it up, so to speak, I would have been a wrestler. So I bought a new book today, the Vilna Gaon commentary to Pirkei Avos. The Vilna Gaon is a Sifri guy, always quoting the Sifri. And that to me has become like my code word. There's aspects of the Torah tradition that are so crucial and integral to Torah, and yet there are still two kinds of people that know that and people that don't. So it's the consciousness to know that is called exile. Hello. How do we get on that tangent? I don't remember. Eric, how do we get on that tangent? I forget how that tangent started. Manoach. There you go. And then we had Hatzel Pony. And Hatzel Pony, I'm serious. There might be 10 people on the planet that know who she is. I would be curious if anyone took a vote. Call your local Chabad rabbi. Rabbi, do you know who Hatzel Pony is? And they'll say, hello, Loretta Winner. They'll say, who? What? You know, one of the 22 women of valor? Are you calling me from a Christian organization? No, Rabbi, it's part of Yalkut Shimoni. What's that? Yalkut Shimoni? One of the legend works, or you might call it the Midrash, We're Jewish. We don't learn the Midrash. Oh, well, nice talking to you, Rabbi. May you live long and prosper. So then when you understand Hatzilponi and Manoach, then you start getting into the Iker of Samson. And Samson becomes a different character by then, which I'm only speaking theoretically because we haven't even touched Samson yet. That really is isn't that what the Midrash is? It's a collection of wisdom, no joke. That is a good definition of Midrash, just a collection of wisdom. It really is the primordial Kabbalah. Kabbalah is just the McDonald's version of Midrash. I mean, that is a fact. That is a fact. Lorianic Kabbalah is the McDonald's version of Midrash, and Zohar is just a more ethereal version of Midrash. So then when you get into this stuff, it's a whole different story. I mean, think about where we're at with Samson and where the rest of planet Earth is at with Samson. Anybody else would have been talking about, oh, Samson, he's strong and he's got hair. And we're over here like, hey, did you see Hatzilponi? And that's it. So we worked Hatzilponi back to Rahab, and Rahab back to Tamar and the Scarlet Thread. And last time I think we just dibble-dabbled with the Scarlet Thread. And now we got to go and find that Scarlet Thread. So here's the challenge. We need to discover why she had the Scarlet Thread. And I just thought of a book that might know it. So hang on. I'm going to go get a commentary to the Chumash, and I'll be right back. We're going to do this. Okay. We just had a dose of mazel. Does anybody believe in mazel? Let's see here. There it is. Does anybody believe in mazel? I had to go up to my bedroom where I have a secret stash of books because I had a premonition to do a certain commentary. And then I thought, as I looked through my books, Eric Bryan, you know what I thought? I thought, doesn't the Ramdu usually tell you everything? So I ran back to my office and I just pulled the Ramdu off the shelf. I thought that was a good story. I guarantee you he's going to tell us what it is. But right now, we are in Midrash Says. Because that could be a good place to look. That's why I recommended to you that book. So if you have the Midrash Says, go ahead and look inside here, Brian. What? Yehuda and Tamar. There we go. They're telling the story. Here we go. Come on. And Tamar gave birth to twins. As they were being born, one of them stretched out his hand, and the midwife immediately put a shining red thread on his wrist. Tamar came as the firstborn, but he withdrew his hand the same time he first. She therefore called him Peretz. The one who broke forth the brother born after him was called Zerach on account of the shiny red thread tied to his hand. Rashi 38:30. That's where we're going to look now to Rashi. Remember, this is the Eric Bryan. We just connected the dots. Yaakov Avinu, Jacob blessed Dan, type 1. And they say that was the blessing of the Messiah, type 1. And Tamar gave birth to Peretz, who's the father of the Messiah, type 1. There it is. We connected the dots. You like that? Oh, that was nice. Rashi 38:30. That was good. That was good. There's method to the madness, folks. There's method to the madness. $30. Rashi 38:30. Asher yado hasheni arba yados ksuvis kan keneged arba tzmari shaval lachin shatz v'meir v'yeshayim keneged dal davar v'shlekach aderet shenar v'shtei chatichos kesef. Okay. V'yikra shmo zerech al shem zvichis marish hasheni Peretz shayim mishum maisi shehaya. Al Shem Zvichis Mars Hashini. I don't think Rashi's saying it that clear. Ishvil. Wait. Shani. Ashani. Not Hashini. It's also Hashini. The second kid, it's Ashani, which is the scarlet thread. The shine of the thread. There it is. The Shem Peretz Shahaya Mishum Maisa Shahaya. All right, so he's named Zerach because of the shiny thread. Zerach Loshen Adamoni to deceive. Yeah, so Zerach is a red shine. A red, you would say Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer would be Zerach. He had a very shiny nose. That's pretty classic. That's one for me. All right, so the name Zerach is that shiny red. And he was supposed to be the firstborn, but Peretz, he went back inside and Peretz came out, and Peretz means bursting forth. Yeah, there's definitely a theme here. You got to be blind as a bat to not think that. There's a definite theme going on here. And I think Tamar is Torah of Shemming, made up word there, Shemming the whole thing. 100%. All right, so Zerach is named after that. Now, what's the word for that scarlet thread again? Hold on. Shani. Leimor Ze Yatsa Rishona. Related to Tikshor al Yado Shani. Leimor Ze Yatsa Rishona. Vayikameshi Vyado Vihina Yatsa Achiv Tomer Ma Paratz Telecha Peretz V'yikra Shmo Peretz. Achir Yatsa Achiv Asher Al Yado Hashani V'yikra Shmo Zarach. Now the real question is, why did they put that scarlet thread on him? Verses chapter 38, 28. Those following along. Hotzi echad yado lachutz. He put his hand out. V'achar shekashra yado ashani akzira. And after they tied onto him the thread, he returned his hand. There's something very, very something going on with this. Who's this? Let's read some commentaries over here. Let's read some commentaries. Morachaim. Perish nitznatsa v'miyeledis ruach hakodesh fasita v'lo yada ma'asav. Mikashra oyado ashani v'zeh romez kihu sheni lorishon. Ohi amra ki zeh yatsa rishon v'hu amru leimor zeh yatsa rishon perush hi amra kain aval kefi ha'emes lehefik yagid shem ha'siman yesh. Hold on a second. There's something going on here. Hold on. Perish nitznitza v'milidas ruach hakodesh. So it's divine inspiration. Vasita velo yarda ma asta. So this is Mazel. She doesn't know what she's doing. And it's Ruach HaKodesh, divine inspiration. Why? Because she tied the scarlet on his hand. And this is a hand, Kihu Sheni Larisham. He ended up being the second. And the word for scarlet thread, Hashani, is the same as Hasheni. The second. Avahi Amra, Ki Zeh Yatzurisham. He came out first. Vahu Amru Leimor Zeh Yatzurisham, Perushi. Amra Kain aval kefia emes lehefek yagid shama simin yesh im lemisort. Perushi Amra Kain aval kefia emes lehefek yagid sham hasiman ki yesh im lemisort. Not exactly sure what he's saying here. Yeah, there's something very. This is the twin messiahs, Asav. Yeah, it's the birthright. It's all that. And the commentaries are a little difficult. Hold on. I want to go to the Al-Shik. That's what I ran to first. I want to say that Al-Shik was going to say. He was a commentator from Sfat. Something tells me he may have said something. Hold on. Here we go. The Yidke ki gam ata odeno machzik b'davar v'yiten yad. Leimer ki yatsa rishon v'yeh tuncha yado b'shevet ha-malchus. Ha-me'eledet chashva ki hu er. Ki al kain yatsa rishon b'chashva ki yagmor letzeit kol gufu rishon v'tikshor al yadu shani ki ratzta ledat mihu ha'toifis ha'malchus shehu er bachor Yehuda sheyatsa mimenu David v'shehu almoni gavon shani. Did I tell you we were going to get this or what? That I am telling you, I knew this guy was going to give the answer. That is something special. Tyler, going to see you. I knew he was going to say. Don't ask why. I just knew. And he's going, man, all about Melech Mashiach and all kind of stuff over here. All right, let me tell you what's going on. So, who was Judah's firstborn son? His name was, I don't know how you say it in English, Er, Ayin Resh, Er. Everyone give me a 1 on that. Er. Remember? Judah had 2 sons that died. And Tamar knows the secret of the Levirate marriage from Shem. Correct? So she marries Judah's sons, and Judah is going to give us Mashiach, says Yaakov, type 1. And Shem knows that Mashiach is coming from Judah, the Israelite seed. So Tamar is in there, and her sons die, her husbands die, whatever it is. She knows then that Judah's the guy. And the firstborn son will be the Mashiach. Tamar knows that she's giving birth to the Messiah. Sound familiar with Hatzel Pony? Sarah knew she was giving birth to the Messiah too, Isaac. Ruth knew she was giving birth to the Messiah, David. So we're seeing that the Ger woman who comes into Israel, which is what makes Ruth different according to the Maral, they're delivering the messianic spark. And that's probably why they're with the women of valor. So the first one to come out is the grabber of Malchus. And she tied the scarlet thread on his hand. And it was red because David is red. Esav had to be red. He can't not be red. So it looks like the Torah of Shem is red. And then there's the idea of that of losing the firstborn. Reuben lost the firstborn. Esav lost the firstborn. Zerach lost the firstborn. Maybe even David lost the firstborn. That's why there's a Mashiach ben Yosef. Ephraim Bechori. Ephraim is my firstborn. David had to wait for Shaul. So therefore, what we're saying, why red? That's a good question. Bechor Yehuda Shiatzav Aminu David Vishahu Admoni Gavon Hashani. Why are they trying to make the Messiah red? Why a color? And by Rahab, what she's saying is that the Messiah comes from her, and it does. Mashiach ben Ephraim, Joshua. Again, a ger delivering the messianic spark. But I'm not sure it starts at 38:1. Justin B., you popped in. It goes back to Tamar and Yehuda. In the Torah of Shem is red. Esav, or Yitzchak loved Esav because he was red. They're thinking that the Messiah is red. And what is that? That's a Torah of Shem right there. I would say that David is red. They're looking for David. He is red. Yeah, it makes sense, Adam. Adam is, it means red. Adam. So why is Adam red? There's a midrash that says Adam has the blood of God in him, and Eve spilled that blood. You see the ichor that we're forming here? Don't we all what? Let's go to Randu. Don't we all what? I was not made by the hands of God, no. One person in the history of mankind was made by the hands of God, and that is Adam. $38.28. 38.28. I think the wrong dude is going to do us some justice over here. Here we go. Okay, wow, there you go. Ramdu in the Al-Sheikh. If you want to do a Google search on the Al-Sheikh, just to know who he is, he was a contemporary of the Rizal in Sfat. Type in ALSHICH in Google, Rabbi Al-Sheikh. If you want to post the link, somebody in the chat room, that way you can read who the Al-Sheikh commentary was. So the Ramdu and the Al-Sheikh are saying it was grabbing Malchus. That's the Indian. Somebody please post the link to Al-Sheikh. Afilu min abetin natan simani kocho sha'melech pirates la'asus lo derech ALSHICH Shahaya Acher Haishi is Yadu Lachutz Bahaya Royal is Saber Rishoin is Zed Dochik of Pirates L'Soy Lo Derech Lahatim is Yisiasa Aval Mieledes Gesharasi Yadu Shil Yelet Echad Yaitz Lachutz Chashva Beliba Shagadim Avagdoil Niye Royal Lo Alkopanim Lachain, thank you. Kashtra Al Yardo Shani L'Siman She'im Ha'acher Yagdim Es Yiziaso Lo Yasi Zevakach Ismaila Sova Es Chashivuso Vayikshiv Al Kuparim Ki'ilu Hu Yatsi B'Techila. So they put the thread to make you want to hear something pretty wild? That scarlet thread anointed him as the King Messiah. He grabbed the kingdom. Wow. What makes you king, everybody? You hear this? What is it that makes you a king in birth? If there was and where does the crown go? It goes on your head. They thought the hand was enough. And because they tried to crown the king too soon, he retracted his hand and parrots put his head out. A hand is weak. The head is the ikar. Shememenu yartze mishi of shvot yardo becharmei shemayim. Vayiyeh oicher is Yisroya. He will either tanzenitim beliba. Likshur al yardo shani shehu gavon shel din. Besod im yil Chedechem Kishanim, Yimenu Yartami, Shagaram Din Al Yisrael, Va'od Shanisha Zer Keklipa La'achiv, Shekadma Labri Bechelik Ross of Yuvad, Himako Ashar Yatzani Kachi, Nimseino, Landim Bekak Sha'ulai Sharashai Sha'achan, Hayam Yado Shazeram Nitkanam Misasa, the Im Ein Ria Ledvar, Zach Rika Ledvar, Yad akan mispar katan oila communion yad. Gam mispar gadol oila communion yud pa'amin yad. Lermun shinat al kul kaikasav arai shel oisa yad today the takeh rizosoi. Beso when the mazeh ada achor ve'in az achor levavah. Ein lahakshas lama nifgama yado shel zera v'lo yado shel peretz. Ki zerach min asmol asher sham achizot chitzainim. Omiyado shel peretz hayeshrashu shel David shel oila communion yad. L'chein nizgavir al kol oivi bekoacha shel oisa hayad. Baraza dar kasub Yehuda yadcha v'oiref levecha l'chein b'David hu laimer v'oivei nasi l'oiref kilela v'hayamin v'oshemachnia es achitzoinim ki'in shenamar yimenecha. Okay. So parrots, they did not tie a thread on his arm because he was considered the essence of the right hand, which is David. So the entire thing got messed up because she tied the ribbon too soon. They were not patient with crowning the Messiah. Very interesting, isn't it? Why? How could Tamar not know that? Well, they're blaming Tamar. And let's say Lafib Shuto will do that too. The point is, they did not let the Messiah be born correctly. It got messed up. mean, they were bringing Mashiach. And because they rushed it, it really altered everything. It's a pretty powerful thought, no? And they were using Kabbalah, the red and everything, and there was a Havamina to think to tie it on the hand. But they didn't wait till the baby's head popped out. Very interesting. I'm not sure what to make out of that. Let's call it there, and we'll pick up. We got to meditate on this. What's the common thread, pun intended, with Tamar? The head didn't come out. Rahab tied the Scarlet. They didn't conquer Israel yet. That's the whole reason why she was a kosher ger toshav, because they hadn't conquered Israel. And with Samson, I don't know what to make out of Samson now. Yeah, there's a lot here. I mean, Jacob, when blessing Dan, he jumped to the conclusion that Samson was Mashiach. There's a haste. We see this theme on many levels: Esav, Yaakov, Cain, Abel. Go ahead, Aaron. Type what you're saying. Yeah, what are you making out of that? The Torah of Shem is saying that there is a wisdom of redemption. You know, a Shem kingdom. And everyone's doing it wrong. They're rushing it. They're not treating it right. Every time with the cords, the harlots, the seals, the staffs, they're trying to do the redemption, and then like this Torah of Shem redemption, and they keep doing it wrong. Every time they keep getting it wrong. Bound with cords. Let's chew on this for next time. All right, I think we got the answer from Tamar. It's just Torah of Shem. You know, they're trying to crown the Messiah. And the Messiah is trying to come. You see that? The Messiah from the Torah of Shem is trying to come through. And the Shem vessels are trying to bring it in. And for some reason, it keeps getting blocked out. You know, Rahab and Joshua had no son. Eventually, there was a David. And even David had to die and come around the next time. So they achieved the birthing of David, and his mother was the Ger Nitzevet. It's the Ger women delivering the spark. She is more in the right than I because I did not give her Sheba. Right. Yes, this class will be archived and we'll give the links. All right, so this is food for thought. Let's sit on this for the next week. I think we found what we're looking for. And now we'll go back into Samson and go from there. But we definitely got what we're looking for from the Ger woman. We now know her role. She's bringing messianic sparks. But you know what we're seeing is that the Ger woman is delivering the spark, but she's also preventing the conception every time. So at some point, it's going to have to get right. Very, very interesting here. Because Tamar tied the wrong part. But if she hadn't brought the spark into Judah, then there wouldn't be nothing to talk about. And with Rahab, she brought the Josephic aspect of Mashiach, but something went wrong when she dangled the scarlet thread from the window. And that's why she's called a harlot. Just Mashiach and Yosef got twisted with the whole Mashiach and Ephraim thing. All right, let's stop there. And we have food for thought for next week.